Hi everyone, Dion Johnson here from Dion Johnson Global, and I'm so excited about this Monday morning message to you. If you're a woman in senior leadership anywhere in the UK or internationally, then this message is really for you. Now, I have to apologise for the noise. It's really hot here and the door's open, but the train lines are at their busiest and there's workmen on the line, so it's really, really noisy this morning. But I hope that you can still hear me and get this message that is coming right from my heart straight to you. If you are a woman anywhere in the UK or internationally leading in senior levels, that means you have authority, you have position of influence, that you're leading people and projects and policy and really important things in your organization and field. This message is for you with love this Monday morning. So, I consider myself a womanologist. And what I really mean by that is that I am passionate. I think I was born to help women, especially women in senior leadership, to evolve and to grow and to develop as women and as leaders and as change makers. It's my place in the world to be alongside women who are growing and evolving, or want to grow and evolve. And I work exclusively with women in senior leadership who really do value the support and the company, the support and the development help and the guidance to grow and to keep evolving in leadership and in change making as women. And these women that come to work with me really want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be taken seriously as high-level, credible influencers in their organisation and field. They know they're not done. They know they're not, even though they're senior, they aren't done with growing, they aren't done with developing, they aren't done with evolving into more and more capacity to influence and to make things better. And it's really that I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about making things better. And people often ask me, why do I work only with women? Why do I work exclusively with women in senior leadership? And it's not because I think necessarily, I know there is a drive for more women leaders, and I support that drive, and I applaud it and cheer those champions on. But my reasoning is more about how I think we need not just more women, but we need feminine. We need more feminine. We need womanly leadership to match the masculine domain that we have created in the global marketplace. We need an emergence, a rise of feminine leadership. I call that woman influence, and I think there's a real significant need for influence, the difference that women make. I know it's complicated. I know that some would say that there is no difference between masculine and feminine. There are no differences between men and women. And I know also it's true that men can be feminine too. But here's the thing. Women, I believe, are the stewards of feminine. Women are made, built, designed for the feminine energy, quality, approach. And men are designed for the masculine. Now, I know that we can be both. I'm not saying that we can't, but I really think that we're the stewards. And so if we need more feminine, more woman influence in the marketplace, then for me, it makes sense that we help women to be the representative, or at least lead the way in the rise and the emergence of this. So, yeah, that's why I work with women. And simply put, the way that I see it is that the masculine makes things. The masculine makes things happen, reaches targets, smashes goals, is driven, is linear, logical. How do we make that happen? The masculine is a make things happen energy. And I see the feminine as the make things better energy, approach, quality. It takes a lot of masculine energy to build a house, right? But if you want to build a home, if you want to make that house better, make it into a home, it takes a different approach. It takes a different energy, a different quality. And that's how, in my mind, simply put, I distinguish between the masculine and the feminine. And so here's the thing, we're masters of making things happen in our marketplace. There's just nothing that we can think of and that it doesn't occur, like 3D printing, cloning, technological advancements in any industry, whichever industry you work in, science, technology, education, religion, whatever, whatever, the arts, media, business, whatever you are in the global marketplace, you will be able to testify that things are advancing and we're making things happen at an advanced and astronomical rate, right? So there's no problem with the making things happen side. We're masters of making it happen. But here's the thing, here's the question. Are things getting better? Are things getting better? When you watch the news, is what's being reported on evidence of things getting better? Well, yeah, I guess the answer could be yes. Like, there are lots of things getting really better, but there are also lots of things that are just not getting any better at all, or in fact getting worse, or new problems arising. And that's what this video is about. It's about how the feminine, the rise of woman influence in our global marketplace is desperately needed to make things better. Now, you would have to be living in some cave somewhere remote. And if you're watching this, chances are that you have heard about what happened just very recently in London, in North London, when Grenfell Towers went up in flames. And since then, there have been questions asked about the kind of materials that were used to clad the building. And it looks like, we don't have all the evidence yet, but it looks like there was some cost implication. Cheaper materials were used that put the people that lived there at risk. And I think this is a classic example of what I'm talking about, that the renovation, whatever motivated that renovation, there were discussions. Imagine the discussion, right? Imagine the boardroom discussion about the cost. And imagine the masculine mindset that said, we've got to get costs down, we've got to make this happen faster, we've got to make it happen cheaper, we've got to make it happen quicker, right? That's kind of the drive that's the kind of discussion that's very masculine in nature. Let's get this goal done, let's meet the bottom line, let's do it efficiently, let's do it quickly, right? That's what I'm talking about in terms of masculine. But there was another conversation to be had at that table, wasn't there? There was another conversation to be had about the quality of the restoration, the quality of the lives of the people that live in the building, the well-being, the risk of, the question of whether we can take that risk and put our brothers and sisters, our elders and citizens and people of the community that we serve to that amount of risk. There was that conversation to be had. And my experience in these types of policy-making realms of senior leadership is that often the voice of what's best for, or what's better for the people who this decision is going to be affecting, is a quieter conversation. It's a conversation happening behind closed doors, or just not being represented well at the decision-making tables. And that's my point. That's why I say we need the rise of woman influence. We need the rise of someone who's going to be saying, hey, dementia tax is going to put a lot of people under a lot of pressure. That we need to think about quality questions about what needs to happen to make things better in our sphere of influence, within our remit. And that's what I'm talking about making things better with feminine approach, with the woman influence, is my burden. Because I really think that what we need now is not necessarily more women, but we need more women who are deeply, fiercely motivated to do what's right, to do what's better for the people, for the children, for the next generation coming up, for the elderly, for the poor, for the planet. We need to be asking those questions at decision-making levels. And so if you're a woman in senior leadership, I'm talking to you. I'm sharing this burden with you. We need women who are prepared to show up for real, with heart, with care, with compassion for the people that we're serving. We need to be able to speak up about what's not working. And we need to shake the hell out of the systems that we are leading in. That we're part of the senior leadership team because we are women who care about the people that we serve. This is a burden for me. And this weekend, running into the weekend, it's been happening since the fire actually at Grenfell. But this weekend, as we were going into the weekend, I had a vision. It was a vision because I wasn't sleeping. It felt like a dream, but it was a vision because I wasn't sleeping. And it was basically, I was having a conversation with God. And he asked me to imagine that there was going to be no more Monday morning for the global marketplace, that this was the end, that this weekend was the end, and that God's would, what happened was I could see the earthquake, and it went really dark, and the sky cracked and thunder roared, and then the sky cracked and God stepped out of the sky. The God of the global marketplace stepped out of the sky, and he called for a great gathering of all the heads of states and the captains of industries and the CEOs and the heads of departments from every sector, from every nation, were all gathered in one place. And they were gathered because he wanted the people to give an account of how their leadership had impacted the people. He wanted them to give an account of how the marketplace that he had established to meet the needs and to care for the people and the children and the planet and the life forms all around the world. He called for the people who were leading the marketplace to give an account of how their industry, how their organization, how within their sphere of influence, these people were, these priorities were being managed. And I watched as leader after leader would go and say, well, we spent £350,000 on this, and we did that, and we helped those people over there and these people over here. And I saw God saying, yeah, very good, very good, very good. But I also saw that this God was savvy, and he was all-knowing. He was omniscient. So there was no bullshit. There was no bullshit in this God, right? There was no artistic license. Like you couldn't, like how when you were writing the end of year report, remember the end of year report when you're writing it and you embellish a little bit with artistic license, you embellish the results so that they look, so even mediocre, even poor results can look or be explained away or look or embellished to sound better than it really is. Well, there was none of that here. There was none of that. It was, they were being asked to account for, why did people die in Grenfell? Why are people committing suicide at this rate? Why are people still getting sick? Why do people have no access to high-level education? Why are people not having access to great healthcare? That kind of thing. It was the questions were being asked, difficult questions were being asked by this God of the great global marketplace, and leaders are being called to account, called to answer. I tell you, this vision took my breath away, and I was scared. I was scared because I took it personally. I imagined that I was going to have to give an account for, for my work, for the impact that I'm making as a woman and a leader and a change maker. But I also felt this heavy burden for us as senior leaders and women in senior leadership. I saw clearly that there's a need for a rise in woman influence, need for a rise in people asking, what are the consequences here? Who's suffering? How can we make things better? How are we going to make things better? Well, the question still weighs heavily on my heart, even though it is Monday morning. So this is not the end. The marketplace, the global marketplace is alive and kicking. We're into the new week. The end didn't come on the weekend, but the question is still relevant, I think. The question of how do we make things better? How is your organization and your industry doing in terms of serving the people that it exists to serve? How are the people doing, the children doing, the planet doing, the life doing, the animals doing in your sphere of influence? How are the next generation shaping up as a result of the leadership that we are part of, the decisions that we're making, the policies that we're setting, the priorities that we are perpetuating? How is our leadership making things better for the people that we are existing to serve? I don't share this with you to weigh you down on this Monday morning. To the contrary, I'm sharing because I want to inspire you. I want to inspire you that you are a woman of influence, that you are there to make a difference. You are there to make things better. You are equipped. You are equipped with capacity to see the unseeable, to foresee, to in-see. Look at what's going on in your organization and see things that are maybe not even apparent to others yet. You are able to know with your heart, think with your heart about what's right here, what's needed here to make things better. I want to remind you that you're a woman of influence. That's who you are. It's not something that you do, it's who you are. Are you being her? Are you being the woman of influence that you are in that position to be? I want to encourage you to step up, to speak up, to say what's on your heart to say, to pronounce and to decree what you see happening and what you see could happen in your industry, and be a force to be reckoned with in your organization and your industry. To speak up, I want to encourage you, I want to call you, I want to admonish you to make things better. Envision a better outcome for the people that you are in position to serve in that senior leadership team. Talk from a place of influence about what better looks like to you. I'm encouraging you to make things better this week, this month, this year. I'm encouraging you to take stock. I'm calling you to embrace the fact that you are in that position to make things better. Now, I'm not oblivious to the challenges. I'm not oblivious to the difficulties that women of influence are facing. I'm not oblivious to cultural fit and biases and the issue and power structures that create power struggles and all of that. I know that senior leadership is not always a walk in the park, and that sometimes it's easier just to toe the line and to just get on with managing what is. But I'm asking you to consider what better would be like and what part you could play in making things better as you go forward as the woman of influence that you really are. So if I can help, get in touch. Think about maybe even wherever this video is posted, write in the comments what better looks like in your industry and how you feel about being part of making that better a reality. Think about that, how you feel about making that better a reality. You're a woman of influence. You are a woman of influence, and you are there for such a time as this to make things better. See you next time. I'm Dion Johnson, strategic ally, master coach, and founder of Dion Johnson Global. Can't wait to serve you. So let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay? Take care. Bye.